So, I just want to do a quick mask comparison. These are pretty much my two favorite masks, the i4s and the Proflexes. I've been a huge i4 fan for a really long time, but then I had to replace some parts on my mask, so I just ended up buying a new Proflex for I think like 70 bucks. You can find them cheaper, but I wanted to customize mine and everything. Well, anyways, I just want to go through like some comparison and pro and cons of each of the masks. So I'll start off with the i4s. This is an excellent mask. Very comfortable fitting. It's very tight. Fits to your head really well. The lens changing is really quick. You just gotta pop out the ears and then pop out the other side. And then you just pull the lens forward and then it'll pop right out. Which is great if you like to change the lenses a lot. I like how they fit really close to your face. It just feels super tight compared to other masks. Even my Proflexes don't fit that tight. Most of the bigger masks don't. The Profits fit kind of tight comparison. The events are alright, but I don't like how the events jet forward and it kind of pulls down your mask. It's a little front heavy. So one of the problems with it being so tight feeling, I mean, it just feels glued to your face, but it does echo a lot. I really didn't notice this until I switched to my Proflex, and it's funny how much quieter my Proflex is compared to this lens. I mean, this mask. I really like the field of vision on this mask. They have probably the biggest lens of all, and if you are using a contour or something, it's really easy just to slap your mount right here and it fits really nicely. Some cons about this mask: it's a little small and you get hit in the head a lot. At least I did. But I think I was just, lately I haven't been getting hit in the head much. I might have been just popping out wrong. But pretty much your whole forehead is exposed, which this is my mask. This one's my brother's. As you can see, I modded i3 visor, and this just kind of ramps the balls off of it. And it makes it about the same size as the Proflex. But it just makes it a lot easier not to get hit in that forehead all the time. A lot of people complain about the jaw protection not being so good. My jaw is exposed. I've got a little bit of a bigger head. But I never really got hit in it, and I think I got hit once, and it really didn't hurt that much. So that's really one of my smallest complaints. A lot of people, now, this is a really high quality mask, except when it comes to the foam. It's really soft, but it's just not very good. It peels off after a while. Granted, this is an older mask. And it's not cheap to replace. It's like 20 bucks, which I think is a little ridiculous for foam pieces. And then the lenses are not cheap whatsoever. If you want a basic lens, this is 30 bucks. Compared to a Proflex lens, I mean, you can get a really good Proflex lens, like your mirrored finish and whatnot, for 25. If you want a mirrored finish or a special lens like this, that's going to cost you 40 bucks. And on top of like a $20 foam replacement, this would cost me $50 to replace, just to get replacement parts, and it would be kind of expensive. What I like about this is it's pretty easy to mod. I put the visor on pretty easily, just drilled a couple holes here and popped the visor in, and then you can double strap them really easily. It's like a 10-minute thing. And then you can do the same with the Proflex. The Proflex is a little bit of a heavier mask, and it kind of sits on your cheeks a little bit, like right here when you're wearing this, which when I was wearing a hat kind of alleviated this. It's not too much of a complaint, but it's just a little annoying. Proflex, though, is like incredibly easy to breathe in. The ears kind of suck. My earlobes always are showing. They just don't like go down right on my ears. Might be because of my hat pushing up. You can put a dual strap on these pretty easily too. Just feed it through this. You can't really see it, but there's like a butterfly mount right here, and you just feed it through another strap. It's pretty easy. The replacement parts are very easy to get, except for foam. I heard the foam's pretty hard to find. You just pretty much have to buy a whole nother frame, which kind of sucks, but then you can replace the lens at the same time. There are a lot of replacement parts for this, and this mask is very customizable. You pretty much pick up any parts you want and just swap parts, and Just makes it very easy. And it makes cool looking combinations. This one, I picked this one to match my gun. Most people choose reverse colors though. The lenses, like I said before, are pretty cheap, but they're not the easiest to replace. You don't have a quick release. You kind of have to pull all this up, pop off your frame bottoms, and yeah, it's not the easiest process. I really like how flexible this is. Some people say that this will come back and hit them in the face really hard. I haven't come up with that. I've been hit in the face, but it just kind of like pushes in and just kind of taps me. It really hasn't hurt. And I really haven't got any bounces off this yet. Maybe I haven't played enough. And quick play if you're using like a action camera, like a GoPro. These are not, the mounts do not fit on here very nicely like i4 does. I had to do a combination of hot gluing and a bunch of stuff to the ear, and this kind of flops around when I'm running. So yeah, if you're looking for a kind of an in-between mask and you don't like the smallness of the i4s, but you don't like this is a looser fitting mask. It's not very tight to your face. It doesn't feel glued on. This is a good, the i3s are a good substitute. They got really good ears. They breathe pretty well. They do they're not as nice as, the Proflexes are probably the best breathing masks, tied with the E-Flex, of course, because it's the same bottoms pretty much. But the i3s, they restrict a little bit, and I did have troubles fogging after like a long day of play, or if it's like cold out and stuff, they do fog a little bit. I don't know if it's just because the lens is getting old, and whatnot. These do have a lot of the same parts as the i4s. This is just a basic i3 mask, but I have the i3 Pro ears on. These are pretty comfortable. I haven't worn this mask much, but I think they're fine to get a shot in the ear with. And they do, for me, they cover my lobes a lot better. The forehead protection surprisingly isn't as good, even though this actually looks just as high, if not higher than the Proflex. They tend to sit closer to the eyebrow and just push down a little bit, and it shows a little bit more forehead compared to either of these. But if you still don't like getting shot in the forehead and that's still a problem, these accept visors with no modifications. So you just slap a visor on there, and that usually just ramps the paintballs off. Sometimes they'll split the paintball and you'll get all of your mask, but it's a small complaint. Both would have chin straps options. I'm not sure if my i4s came with that. Not that I remember. I cut the chin strap off mine. It's a little annoying. Though if you want to be really safe, masks can come off. My brothers just did last weekend, and it's a little bit scary. So overall, the Proflex is probably my new favorite mask. It just feels and breathes like you're not wearing a mask, as compared to i4, where it's a little bit tighter. You kind of know you're feeling a mask, but it's like glued to your face and it's going where you're going. Overall, I probably picked the Proflexes. They're a little bit cheaper. Just all the replacement parts are pretty much cheaper than i4 mask, or probably even i3s. i3s use the same foam, and it's a little bit cheap. I really like the foam in the Proflexes. I don't think, like I said before, I don't think you can buy this replacement foam directly anymore. But it's really comfortable, for me at least. It's a little bit firmer than the i4s, and just feels really good. I don't know how durable it is yet. I haven't had these the longest time, but for me, they just feel really good. So overall, Proflexes are, for me, they're a little bit cheaper. Just everything about them is a little bit cheaper, and they're still the same quality of mask, in my opinion. If like some of the E-Flexes fix a lot of the problems that people had with the Proflexes, you might want to look into those instead. But overall, i4s and Proflexes are probably my two favorite masks that I've worn so far. I've worn pretty much almost every mask on the, well, I shouldn't say every mask, but all the higher end masks on the market. Grills, I haven't worn an E-Flex yet, but don't see it being much different. The events, pretty much Proto Axis, pretty much all of them. So anyways, thanks for watching.